Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is mine and my boyfriend's anniversary. It's been 6 years since we started dating, so tonight is date night. We went to the gym today and I thought I would take you along in my getting ready process. I am drinking a protein shake right now and I'm gonna take a shower and do my makeup and all that. So yeah, I'll see you when I'm done showering. All right, I am finished with my shower, got my robe on, and I need to give my eyebrows some freaking love because I haven't plucked them in 2 weeks. And I will do that, and hopefully my hair is gonna dry pretty quickly. I'm hoping I don't have to blow dry it. So I'm using this mirror that I got for Christmas that I really like. I'm sitting on my floor, by the way. It lights up, so it's super nice for makeup and plucking my eyebrows, things like that. These little eyebrow razor things are the best invention ever. All right, I am going to do my makeup. I just got a package in the mail from ColourPop. They're having a 25% off sale. I mean, they're already pretty cheap anyway. So I got the Bare Necessities palette. Look at this, it's so nice. It's gigantic. It's like all neutrals. So I'm excited to try that out. I also got their like tinted moisturizer and then just a black eyeliner that I wanted to try out. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm gonna start with my eyes. And yeah, just gonna chat. So today's February 1st, and like I said, it's mine and my boyfriend's 6-year anniversary. And our anniversary is like, we started dating like right before the Super Bowl. He's a really big sports fan, like really big. One of those. The first of that year that we were dating, the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, which I'm from Seattle, so I wanted to watch. And every single person that I asked like that was having something, they were like, it's just gonna be a bunch of dudes, but yeah, you can come. And so I asked him if I could go to his friend's house because his friend was having something, and my boyfriend was like, yeah, I'll ask. His friend, who I will not name, he probably doesn't even remember this. My boyfriend said that his friend was like, he just wants us to be the homies or whatever. I don't even know what he said. It was something like dumb like that, and I was like, okay, well, fine. So I like sat at home and like watched the live stream on my computer like while doing homework. So A+ start to this relationship. So the next year was our 1-year anniversary, and I think the actual day, so February 1st was the day of our anniversary. So we went to brunch, I believe, and I was like kind of in disbelief that we had made it here. Sorry, Connor. So we went to brunch and then we walked to his friend's house. Not the same friend from the previous year who said I couldn't come to his house, but a different friend. And we watched the Super Bowl there. And if you are a sports fan, the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl again, but they did not win. And that was the year that they could have won, and they were on the 1-yard line and blah blah blah, whatever. So my boyfriend, being the very supportive person that he is, was rooting against the Seahawks, so he was pretty happy, and I was just sitting there like, okay. And his friend was like super nice and was like, it's okay. And I was like, whatever, like, I just want to go home, I'm over it. So my boyfriend and I have known each other for, I think it's 8 years this month, which is crazy to me that it's been that long, but obviously we've been dating for 6 years, so not that crazy. So has anyone else like ever been in that phase of like a relationship or even like a friendship where you're like still in the beginning and you can't like tell them the truth about everything? Like now I can just like say what I'm thinking and I know it'll be fine. But there are a lot of times like in the beginning of our relationship where I like would have said something if it had been now. Not like mean things, but like definitely like expressed how I was like what I was really thinking. One of those for me was my boyfriend had no style. Like he still needs help, but I'll try to find the picture. But on my 21st birthday, it's your 21st birthday and you want to celebrate, and I was in my college town and there's like a 21 run, so you like go to different bars and you're like, it's my birthday, and They'll like give you different drinks, like the 21st birthday drinks. Usually the birthday person like dresses up, and there's always like signs and stuff that you wear around that says like, it's my 21st birthday. I got a dress, like a very cute dress from, it was like Nasty Gal or something. And I'm someone who spends a lot of time like picking out what I'm wearing for like things like that. So my lovely boyfriend shows up in a shirt, and had he shown up like now for my birthday, if I was doing something like that, I would have been like, go change, because it was like the Jordan logo, but instead of a basketball, it was a woman. So it was like a guy like slam dunking a woman. I'll try to insert a picture. And we had only been dating like almost 6 months. So that was like still kind of in the beginning where I was like, oh, I can't say anything. Looking back on it, I'm like, why? He still thinks it's cool. Brand new beauty blender, so I'm gonna be using that. It's so satisfying that it's not dirty at all. And I'm gonna be using the Too Faced Born This Way, one of my favorites. Another one of those times where when we had first started dating that I was like too scared to say anything, and he knows all of these now. I went over to his house. I think we had discussed before. He was like, I'll make you dinner, like I can make you burgers. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I go over to his house. He like grabs the ground beef. So his house that he lived in at the time was like split levels. So when you went in the front door, you went down to him and his roommate's bedroom, and then you went up to go to the kitchen, and then up another set of stairs to go to his other roommate's bedroom. And so we were in his room, and then he was like, oh, I'll grab the stuff for the burgers. So he comes down with the burger stuff, and it was like just ground beef, cheese, and buns. And I was like, oh, where are we gonna make them? He's like, oh, we're gonna make them outside. I was like, what? He had a fully functioning kitchen, but chose to make these burgers like outside, like over a fire, which weird. And not like grilling the burgers like on a grill. It was like a metal grate over a fire. So anyway, he like starts forming the patties, and I'm just like, are you gonna put any seasoning on them? And he was like, no, like just so casually. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know how to say anything. I'm still learning like how to speak up and stuff. I was like, okay, like I guess I'll eat this unseasoned burger, yum. It was gross. And we made them over the freaking fire. I ate that burger and acted like it was okay, like the good girlfriend that I am. But now I'm like, what were you thinking? Why? Look who it is. It's my baby. There are so many like funny stories from like when he was living in that house and like when we were first dating that it's like fun to look back on. His roommate that I said he shared a room with, which, I mean, it was college, so gotta save money where you can. I shared a room too, but he was a weird dude. Still is, like he's still friends with him. So if he ever sees this video, shout out, you know who you are. One of the first times I slept over at his house, I think it might have been like the first time. I wake up in the middle of the night and his room had an attached bathroom, so like I just got up to go to the bathroom, and I was like exiting the bathroom, and his roommate's bed was right across from the bathroom, and his roommate is wearing an eye patch to sleep. I had like met him briefly, so I didn't know he was like as, you know, eccentric as he is. And so I was like, oh, okay, like why is he wearing an eye patch to sleep? And so I asked my boyfriend the next morning. I was like, I can't use his real name. I will call him Richard. So I was like, why is Richard wearing an eye patch? And he was like, oh, I don't know. He like asked him later, and he was like doing something, and like something like hit him in the eye. He just randomly had an eye patch and was just wearing it. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't want to be like, he's weird. So yeah, that was my first like real exposure to him. And now I lived with my boyfriend and him and like other guys for like a year as well. So I feel like I got to know his true personality. He was just a weird dude. He would never call me by my name. He would just talk to Connor and be like, your girl said blah, 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 or your girl did blah, blah, blah. And I was like, why don't you just call me by my name? And like he even did this, he even would do this like after we lived together, like when we lived together. And I was like, bro, I have a name. There was another time where we had like slept at my house. I was like going to his house for like, I don't know, like breakfast or something. I like walked in the door and I was like, something smells like it's burning. My boyfriend was like,
I don't smell anything.
And like it's a dude's house, so you already got some funky smells all up in there. We go upstairs and I go up to like the stove. I'm like, your stove is on, which is already like weird because it looked like no one was home. So I was like, your stove is on. And I look in like the pot that was on the stove and it's like straight up like black and it's ramen. And his roommate, the one that he shared a room with, had drunkenly the night before made ramen and then forgot about it and left the stove on all night. And I was like, how did that not set off a smoke alarm, first of all? And second of all, your house could have burned down. Like the stove was on all night. We walked in and there was like zero doubt in our minds like who the culprit was. And one of the funniest stories that I have with this roommate is, okay, it's gonna sound kind of bad on my end, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Him and Richard shared a room. I slept over there like maybe once or twice a week, and every single time, like even on weekdays, his roommate had an alarm that would go off at 5 a.m. and a girl in college was not waking up at 5 a.m. 5 freaking a.m. Neither Richard or my boyfriend Connor would wake up to this alarm. It was only me. And I would just sit there and like at first I would just kind of sit there and like wait for either one of them to wake up. After a while I would wake up my boyfriend and like be like, tell Richard to turn his alarm off. So after a while I was like, he never wakes up to this freaking alarm ever. Not once did he wake up to this 5 a.m. alarm. I told my boyfriend, I was like, can you just like ask him to turn it off and like make it so it doesn't go off at 5 freaking a.m. It was weekdays and weekends. It would just go off at 5 a.m. and it would keep going. So my boyfriend asked him and his roommate was rude about it and was like, it's my room too, blah blah blah, like if I want the alarm I'll keep the alarm. At first I was like, okay, like rude. And then I let it slide for like a couple weeks. At some point I was like, he's never gonna notice if the alarm gets unplugged. And so I asked my boyfriend to do it and he was like, nope, nope, nope. And I was like, what if I do it? He was like, I won't tell him, but I'm like not gonna be a willing participant. And so I was like, that's all the permission your girl need. And like, I didn't think I was being unreasonable. Like if he woke up, you know, like some of the time, maybe I would have been willing to like put up with it. It was every morning and he never woke up. So his bed was like pushed up against the wall, but it was like, there was like a little gap and it was elevated, like he had blocks under his bed. I like snuck in between like his bed and the wall and just unplugged it. And I like 100% believe that he wouldn't even notice. And guess what? He did not notice. He never said anything about it, which means he didn't notice. Otherwise he probably would have told my boyfriend to tell his girlfriend to back off, but he never did. From then on, I got to sleep in peace. And so, since he's probably never gonna see this video, I told my boyfriend that if he ever got married, that would be a good story to tell him, to tell like at his wedding. And that's my makeup. I really liked this palette. It was super pigmented, way more pigmented than I expected. ColourPop is just a cool brand in general. All their stuff is made here in the US, I think in LA actually, but they also like managed to keep, look at Michael's tail. They also managed to keep their prices way down, which is cool. They talk about it in the Netflix documentary Broken, like the very first episode. It talks about like counterfeit makeup products and also has like Marlena from Makeup Geek in it as well. It just talks a lot about like the makeup industry and all that. If you haven't watched it, I recommend it. My hair is pretty dry, but I think I'm gonna like just rough dry it a little more and I will come back and I will curl it. Okay, I blow dried my hair and I'm just gonna quickly curl it. I use the Kristen S dry conditioner for my heat protectant. I'm using the T3, I think it's called the Whirl Trio, and it comes with three sizes of three size barrels. This is the 1 inch, and then there's a 1 1/4 and a 1 1/2. I only used the smaller two, but this, I love this curling iron. It's obnoxiously expensive, but I got it. It was like, I got it from Macy's and it was on sale, and then on top of that it was like the 30% off friends and family sale, so I got it then. And it's just so good. Before this I just had like cheap drugstore curling irons. It's smoothing my hair out rather than like creating more frizz from like how I'm curling it, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. Scrunch some pomade in, use a little bit of like volume spray. All right, I am using the Kenra texturizing taffy. This stuff smells so good. It smells like cotton candy. Just take a little on my fingers, rub it through my hands, and then rake it through my hair. And this just gets rid of like the extra frizziness and gives it like more texture and like pieciness, which is awesome. And then I just scrunch it through. Today I'm gonna use the Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast. I cycle between this one, and then I also use the Heritage by Mindy, the texturizing powder. And I don't use hairspray that often unless I like really want it to stay. Oh, got a knot in here. Because my hair holds curl very well. If you were to want to use hairspray, this is when I would put it in. I'm going to get dressed, and then you can come along with us on our little date night. We are off to the restaurant, and in true Connor and Sarah fashion, we are running a little late. Where our reservation's at 7, and we're scheduled to get there at 7:01. So, and we also just paid our rent online. So, adulting, we're killing it.